Look, Vikings Nation, we need to talk about the most critical position on the field because behind the scenes in Eagan, a storm is brewing. We think we're set for the upcoming season with our current quarterback room, but let me tell you, the long-term outlook under center is a massive looming question mark. But what if I told you a shocking NCAA decision just cracked open a secret backdoor for Minnesota to secure a true franchise quarterback? An absolute powerhouse of a prospect is suddenly hitting the market, and the front office is quietly scrambling to weigh the options. This could change the entire trajectory of our franchise. Before we dive into this massive breaking news, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and help us reach our goal of 2,000 subscribers. Are we ready for a championship run? Let me know in the comments. Skol! Let's get right to the name that is sending shockwaves through the league office. Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby. Now, why is a college quarterback in Lubbock, Texas, suddenly the most talked about name for the Minnesota Vikings? It all comes down to a devastating, incredibly harsh NCAA ruling. Sorsby had his eligibility for the 2026 season completely revoked due to sports wagering back in 2022 when he was a redshirt freshman at Indiana. Let's look at the facts here, because this is where the human element breaks your heart. Sorsby played exactly one game that season. He threw just 6 passes. He never bet on a game he played in, and he never wagered on his own team to lose. Yet the NCAA, in its typical unyielding fashion, denied his reinstatement, throwing his career into absolute chaos and voiding a massive $5 million NIL deal he had lined up with the Red Raiders. It's an incredibly tough break for a 22-year-old kid who made a mistake years ago. But as the old saying goes, one man's heartbreak is another's golden opportunity. With Sorsby's legal appeals likely leading nowhere, league insiders are confirming he is almost certainly heading to the NFL supplemental draft this July. This is where the Vikings enter the chat in a major way. Jason LaCanfora of SportsBoom is reporting that multiple NFL executives believe Sorsby's raw, unteachable talent makes him an absolute lock to be selected. For those unfamiliar with how the supplemental draft works, if a team drafts him in, say, the second round this July, they forfeit their second-round pick in the 2027 NFL Draft. It is a high-stakes chess match, and for Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell, this is a calculated risk that they must take incredibly seriously. We are talking about a rare chance to bypass the traditional draft lottery and secure a high-end talent at the most premium position in sports. But why now? Why would the Vikings even look at a quarterback when the room seems full? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the cold, hard reality of our current situation. Yes, right now we look decent on paper. We've got 2-time Pro Bowler Kyler Murray in-house on a league minimum contract, and former number 10 overall pick JJJ. McCarthy is set to compete with him this summer. It sounds like a luxury, doesn't it? But stick with me here, because this is where things get incredibly complicated. There is almost no realistic scenario where Minnesota is set at quarterback with either of these guys for the long term. Let's play this out. What if Kyler Murray struggles? What if he doesn't click with Kevin O'Connell's highly demanding offensive system? If he plays poorly, Minnesota isn't going to shell out franchise-altering money to keep an underperforming, undersized quarterback in 2027 and beyond. But what if Kyler actually plays incredibly well? That might sound great, but it actually triggers a massive problem. He'll hit free agency, sparking an astronomical bidding war for an undersized quarterback with a significant injury history who will be on the wrong side of 30. Can we really justify tying up our salary cap there? And then there's J.J. McCarthy. His only real path to taking the starting job is beating Kyler out this summer, which is highly unlikely, or waiting for an injury. Let's be honest, the front office saw enough of McCarthy in his 10 starts last season to know they needed insurance. His year was plagued by injury after missing his entire rookie campaign with a knee issue. In those 10 starts, he went 6-4. Completing just 57.6% of his passes for 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Those aren't franchise-saving numbers, folks. That is a massive developmental project. This is why we need to look elsewhere. Here is the real catch-22 that keeps NFL general managers awake at night. There is a very strong chance that our roster is actually too good for our own good next season. Think about it. Between Kyler Murray, J.J. McCarthy, a top 3 NFL defense from last year, and arguably the most explosive group of offensive weapons in the entire league, the Vikings are going to win football games. We are going to be right in the thick of the NFC North title hunt and the playoff picture. But winning games means drafting late. If we make the postseason, we completely play ourselves out of a chance to draft one of the elite, blue-chip quarterbacks in the highly touted 2027 draft class. And let's be real, franchise quarterbacks in their primes do not hit the open market, and teams do not trade them. So how do you find one when you're picking in the 20s? You look for market inefficiencies. You look at Brendan Sorsby. Last season, Sorsby put up absolutely dazzling numbers. 2,800 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions, completing over 61% of his passes. League sources close to La Canfora believe that if Sorsby had stayed in college and entered the draft normally, he had the pure, unadulterated talent to be a top 5 pick in the draft. Let that sink in for a moment. A top 5 talent. Because of this bizarre NCAA ruling, he won't be in that draft. This means teams like the Vikings, who aren't bottom feeders picking at the very top of the draft board, suddenly have a backdoor open to acquire a blue-chip prospect less than 2 months from now. It is an absolute game changer. One league executive put it perfectly, saying it is like getting a premier quarterback a year early, with the luxury of not needing him to play immediately in 2026. This is the ultimate low-risk, high-reward move for a team built to win now but searching for a future. Let's talk about the fit, because in Kevin O'Connell's offense, system fit is absolutely everything. O'Connell doesn't just want any quarterback, he wants a specific profile. He wants size, he wants an accurate arm, he wants a quick, decisive release, and a guy who isn't afraid to push the football vertically down the field to our elite playmakers. Now, look at Sorsby. He is a big kid with prototypical NFL size, a lightning-fast release, and elite downfield accuracy. He is quite literally the exact prototype that O'Connell has spent his entire career working with and maximizing. The football IQ, the physical traits, the arm talent, it is all there on tape. So the debate inside the TCO Performance Center right now isn't about whether Sorsby can play. The real debate is how aggressive Kwesi Adofo-Mensah needs to be in this summer's supplemental draft. Is it worth forfeiting a high draft pick next spring to secure him? If you believe Sorsby is a franchise quarterback, the answer is an easy, resounding yes. Think about the value. If you can get a top 5 talent by sacrificing a first or second round pick in 2027, you make that deal 10 times out of 10. The draft is always a projection, but Sorsby has already shown elite production at the college level against top competition. If the Vikings put a high bid on him, they secure an elite young arm to sit, learn, and develop behind Kyler Murray without any pressure to perform on day one. It is the perfect developmental runway for a potential superstar. At the end of the day, NFL championships aren't won by playing it safe. They are won by front offices that are bold enough to strike when an unexpected door swings wide open. The Minnesota Vikings have spent years searching for that definitive long-term answer at the quarterback position. The guy who can lead us to the promised land and bring a Lombardi trophy back to Minnesota. This unique, unprecedented situation with Brendan Sorsby represents exactly that kind of rare golden opportunity. It's a chance to secure our future without sacrificing our present. It's a chance to build a sustainable powerhouse. Imagine a quarterback room where we can let a high-end talent develop in the shadows, learning the nuances of the NFL under Kevin O'Connell, while we fight for a division title on the field. That is how elite franchises are built. That is how you create a legacy of winning. This is the moment for Kwesi Adofo-Mensah to be aggressive, to trust his scouts, and to make a franchise-altering move that could define his legacy in Minnesota. We have the weapons, we have the defense, and we have the coaching staff. Now, we just need that final, crucial piece of the puzzle. The July supplemental draft is right around the corner, and you can bet the entire league will be watching what the purple and gold decide to do. This is our time, Vikings Nation. It's time to dream big, to support this team, and to look forward to a future that could be incredibly bright. Keep your eyes on the news, keep your faith in the system, and let's get ready for an absolute wild ride of a season. As always, thank you so much for watching, keep believing, and let's go win it all. Skol Vikings!